So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you once again. And I need you to understand one thing. To me, you're like a good bra. You're uplifting, you're supportive, and you're close to my heart, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Loren Dalrymple. Thank you so much for joining us. Big up the band, ladies and gentlemen. Big up the jam. Big up yourselves. Thank you so much.
Jazz jams, I think, are super important to the community. It provides like a focal point where people can come together, all sorts of backgrounds, and just share a common love of hearing incredible music played by incredible musicians in a wonderful, quite intimate situation. But I just think that adds to how brilliant it all is.
So the SoFF Jazz Jam is an institution internationally and in the UK and in London, and it's got a unique vibe, I would say, and I'm guessing that's why it's lasted. One of the reasons it's lasted so long, that people always remember it, even if they haven't been there for years and years. They come back, and it's got a really kind of family atmosphere mixed with a very professional atmosphere, which is, I would say, is quite unique to have a kind of nurturing atmosphere that is also very, very, it means it. The jam means it. It means something. And when people play, they mean what they play.
Well, jam sessions are extremely important for a few reasons. Because, again, it exposes people to new music, new situations. Because when you actually work in this industry, you won't always work in an environment that you're accustomed to. So it trains you, it almost like preps you to work with different people, different charts. You know, it's a whole new opening for you. So it's very, very important. And in your growth and in development, learning your instrument and learning how to play within a band format, it's essential. It really is.
My view on Loren Dalrymple, who I take as an auntie, is she very much reminds me of a time that almost seems behind us. And what I mean by that is the way of band leading, people like the greats, all the greats in jazz history. She has this charisma and a no-nonsense approach to band leading, where she knows exactly what she wants, and that's very different to working with leaders who either don't know what they want, or they have a very vague idea of what they want, or they almost know what they want. There are a few missing pieces, but Loren knows exactly what she wants, and that's a real pleasure. To work with a leader like that in that old school setup is really a pleasure to play with someone like that. Jams are really important, and there's been a massive, especially in London, there's been a massive resurgence of jams, and the ability to, I would say, for both for artists and musicians to have a chance to step outside of their comfort zone with people that are ready to take that step with them and support them, and also for an audience who might not be musicians but get to partake in that unique experience where they can see musicians taking a risk for real. You know, you don't get that on YouTube, you don't get that from MP3 or anything. That's the real deal happening in front of you, live. And in terms of SoFF Music, I would say one of the really unique things about Loren, and again going back the connection with the classic band leaders is I've never ever done a gig with SoFF Music where the audience hasn't gone away very, very, very happy and satisfied, regardless, unbeknownst to them, what happened. Whether there was something wrong with the electrics, or such and such happened, or there was a fault with the equipment, or anything. All the audience knows is that they had a great time and they go out singing. That's what you want.
I first started going to jams when I was at the university, kind of at the time just because I thought it was really fun, which it is, but then once I left university I started going to jams really regularly so that I could learn how to play, because I was pushing myself playing with people who were much better than I was, and going to jams kind of made me the musician that I've been able to become today, so that's why I went, to improve.
As a Canadian coming here to find jam sessions, I think that's been pretty much instrumental in my development. In Canada, there wasn't so much of the jam session scene, meaning there wasn't that many people being brought together through the leadership of somebody hosting the jam. Since I've come here, I've cut my teeth, essentially, by going to jam sessions throughout North London, South London. I've been coming to this Brixton Jam now, both as a spectator and a participant for coming on, 20 years now, something like that? 20 years? And I guess I've earned these. And I think that's it's instrumental, and it's something that is unique to London, and I'd say New York. I think you find a lot of I heard something the other guy was saying the other day, that he would go to somewhere in Greenwich in New York and he would see some of the greats that we're listening to, literally in pubs and cafes like this, ripping it up. You don't get that in Canada, and dare I say, I don't think that's universal. I think it's something very London-centric.
When I first started going to jam sessions, must be in about 30 years ago. I started going to various, down the Jazz Bistro, down in Tower Bridge, going to the Jazz Cafe, and then end up playing in the house band at Jazz Cafe, which was really nice. And I started going down to the Ephra in Brixton, and that was superb. That was run by a very talented singer, Lauren Dalrymple, and that was just really nice, because that was a big networking situation, in fact, of meeting new musicians, new people. So it really exposed me to a wider audience.
Jams are play a crucial role in the jazz world in a city. When I was in Melbourne, I come from Australia. When I was in Melbourne, there wasn't a jam culture, and therefore, if you're new to a city, you can't get in. There's no possible way to start getting gigs or meeting musicians because they can't see you play, and so therefore it makes it a very closed-off environment. Whereas London is full of jams, and therefore it just opens up a massive amount of opportunities for musicians to come and meet other musicians.
Jam sessions important for me as a young man, an opportunity. It's an old school thing that a big brother of mine taught me, that it's a chance to learn from others. If you are competent enough, you get gigs that way. Not just that, you're connecting with the community, another language, approaching the same song, meeting people from all different backgrounds. I've met people from Japan, different sides of the world that I haven't visited, but they've approached the same song a different way. So that's the important of them, and that's why I think jam sessions are still key.
I think that jam sessions are really important because it benefits musicians in lots of ways. Like, it's a really good way to meet other people. It's a really good way to improve your skills as a player. You learn, tunes get called that you don't know. Sometimes playing a tune that you don't know at a fast tempo or something shows you some things that you need to work on. So that's a really great thing. Also, it's just a really good thing for communities to come together and people from all different backgrounds enjoy the same kind of music, people meeting each other, making new friends, and all that kind of stuff.
Jam sessions, I think they're a great meeting place when you're starting out, when you're trying to meet people, learning the ropes, gives you an experience playing in front of audiences, so they're a good starting point. One of the places I started.
Definitely makes sense to me that such a wonderful thing is happening in Brixton. Such a wonderful musical thing is happening in Brixton. I mean, there is so much to digest when it comes to music. Obviously, the Academy is there, and respect to places like the Satay Bar for their live music efforts. Upstairs at the Ritzy, the POW, the Prince of Wales at the end of Cole Harbour Lane. There's more besides Dog Star. There's so much going on. Even the hip hop chip shop. You can go and listen to some really good hip hop while eating fish and chips. And Brixton is bringing that.
So I've been running jazz jams for a while now, for about 10 years. I started in the Poet, which was in Herne Hill, and then in Jazz on the Hill. And now here at the Junction, I've run jazz jams, and I've noticed a similarity in that you need to be discerning with who you put on the stage. And that was the first thing, the SoFF Music Jazz Jam, first thing I noticed about it. Lorraine runs it very well, and she'll choose the right musicians to play with the right musicians, giving everyone a good opportunity to play with like-minded players, which is very, very tough and very important to do, I think, for running a jam.
What do I think of the SoFF Music Jam in particular? As I say, I've been coming here for, God, I dropped off the scene for quite some time, maybe 4 or 5 years, but doing other things, fronting the band. This jam has been allowed me to dust the cobwebs off and get back on the saddle like now, today. It's allowed me to cut my teeth. And this is, as I brought my lady down to this jam a few weeks ago, or months maybe 2 months ago, was it? And I think this jam allowed me to show her my introduction to London 101, as this is one of the last original places where you can see brothers slamming down dominoes and Guinness and football, Premier League, and this, that, and the other thing. And people come to listen to music. So this has been a quintessential one, and you see people kind of mimicking this jam session now, which wasn't back in the day.
Yes, it's wonderful to be here and presenting my music in this showcase. It's my original stuff, and the importance of it is that a venue like this has offered this to me through Lorraine Dalrymple and the SoFF Music Showcase, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity. It's fab.
So the fact that this jam, the effort, the SoFF Music Jazz Jam has been running so long is incredible. To have a venue and a leader who's such a strong personality leading a jam that can run for so long is kind of almost unheard of. I mean, many people have probably got their starts here, met people, as Lorraine says, met their wives and husbands, I'm sure, and began their musical career. So it's incredible, led by a fantastically strong musical force that is brilliant, leads us well, nothing more than great direction, great vocals, great vibe, and as funny as hell.
SoFF Showcase is two things to me. It's a home away from home, and it's a place where new ideas and imaginative aspects of music are brought to the stage for listening. As somebody who moved here 6 years ago, I found a home very quickly here every Sunday night. Met many brilliant musicians, have been able to grow and improve and share what I love about jazz. But in many ways, that home has also created something new, and that's exactly what the SoFF Showcase is. It's bringing together those people who made this place a home and showcasing their different work with the big help and support of SoFF herself.
So, yeah, 20 years is a very long time for anything to change and metamorphosize and take on different shapes and forms. But the thing that stays the absolute same is the music. Not that we're playing the same 3 songs, for example, but it stays exactly the same in as much as it is there for a reason. People are experiencing it for various different reasons, but the music remains the same. Whether you are there to heal after a trying time, whether you are there because you're in love, whether you are there because you just like live music and performance and it's local to you. It's always going to be about the music. We have people who come there specifically to participate in the jam itself, and it's been my honor to be able to give paid work to musicians who are deserving of it. They've honed their skills like I have, and they put the pedal to the metal and they really get the job done, and I have to respect those people. I used to hate shopping in Brixton with Mum. A trip to Brixton from Streatham for me was forever. And to buy what? I hated it. But what really inspired me to go, what would always comfort me, is that from the time we would dock outside Morley's, and back then you jump off a 159 bus, what was right in front of you was the footbridge that went from Morley's side over to the tube station side. You had big shops back then. It wasn't just a Marks and Spencer's, there was a British Home Stores, a CNA, and more besides. But from the time you docked at Morley's, on the Morley side, you would be blessed with whatever new offerings were coming out of Red Records, sadly no longer. Cross the road and go through the Reliance Arcade, gospel music pumping out of there. Get onto Atlantic Road, and the opening to Granville Arcade, now Brixton Village, would be pumping out dub plate and all kinds of things in between the sell of chicken and wigs. There was I get emotional. When I think about him, I get emotional. There was a young man. There was a fair-skinned brother, he had locks. Rain or shine, he used to dance outside what was known as the Granville Arcade. He just used to spin and spin and spin and spin. And we nicknamed, I say we, the young people of the day, we nicknamed him Turnaround. I don't know what his name was, but we nicknamed him Turnaround. Turnaround was synonymous with that spot. You could even use him as a landmark. You know, people would say, if you see Turnaround, you've gone too far. You knew he would be out there. What Turnaround did on a daily basis to the music that was being pumped out of Grenfell Arcade was exactly what our audiences do and have been doing for 20 years at the EFRA Brixton. And that is to respect the music. In the same way that that guy used to go there, put his little plastic bag down, his little Parker jacket would hang off his shoulders, and he would spin and he would dance and he would get into his zone. It's the same way people come to the EFRA on Kellett Road, Brixton, and once a week for 20 years and show much love to me and mine. And I have much love for them. I have much respect for all the people who've come, whether they've been participants or they're just audience members or just a lonely heart looking for some friends. We've provided a hub and a haven for them to come to and enjoy what makes the spirit just sing. I've often referred to musicians as joy bringers because music makes you feel something,
But at the SoFF Music Jazz Jam, it most definitely makes you feel joy. To just keep to be talking about the changes of 20 years and indeed those things that stay the same. Obviously, I'm not the same person. In 1999, when it all kicked off, in the April of 1999, I was not this person. I didn't need reading glasses, for example. Now I do. Happily, I had a mother. Sadly, today I do not. I wasn't a mother 20 years ago, but equally as happily today, I am. So much happens in 20 years. You know, when you think about it, anybody who was born 20 years ago is now legal. They're legal. They're running around aiming themselves at people, voting, driving, but coming to the pub for a drink.
My views on Lorraine Dalrymple, I think she is amazing. I think what she does for music, for the community, for jazz jams, and for the goodness of things in the world cannot be understated. Lorraine Dalrymple, I salute you.
I've known Lorraine for about, I would say, maybe 8 years now. The first time was in the EFRA. I know her to be a very, very warm, lovely person that doesn't take any shit. Can I say shit? Doesn't take any shit from anyone, which is a beautiful quality, and it's very admirable. And in the time I've got to know her, we've become very close friends.
It's good as well when you see your little sister who's gone from a pain in the bottom to a very well organised and extremely well respected woman. You don't see it happening, but yeah, she has really got her act together, and I'm very, very proud of her. She does what she does very, very well.
I met Lorraine Dalrymple many years ago. We met working with Alex Wilson, who is a renowned pianist, arranger, composer. He had this Latino project, and we recorded an album, I believe it was called Afro-Saxon, and Lorraine Dalrymple was the lead vocalist on that project, and she was dynamic. We met, we became fast friends very quickly, and we had an opportunity with that project to tour around the world and work together in separate projects since that time. So, yeah.
What I think, this may be my second time. I've been wanting to come back. I was brought here first time with my friend Kagame, and I remember coming and standing and watching music, and I had something I can call a total energetic out-of-body experience coming out the body, and I couldn't believe what I was listening, watching, and feeling. It was cool, goosebumps. And it's amazing. You came off stage, we can start talking to each other, and we talked how we talked. I think you remember how we talked, and I was like, wow, what is this? You know? And I've been promised to come back. As you know, I've been like non-stop, and to come today again, I was like praying that you are on.
Well, we were taught by Mum, when you pick something up, when you start something, stick at it. And she really has done a good job in entertaining and mentoring, and guiding musicians that have come through the doors of the EFRA. And it really is a good night. And I don't see my sister there. I see just a really professional woman that's enjoying what she does, and it makes me proud when I look at other people enjoying her.
I like jam sessions, especially at Efra Hall Tavern, because I can meet so many musicians, so many wonderful people, and that's how I met Lorena Limpo, and I'm honored to play with her as a pianist. And she's great. She's a great boss. She's a great leader. She's the leader that every musician would like to have, because she's clear on what she wants. She leads the band wonderfully. So it's a pleasure to play with her at the Efra Hall Tavern.
Well, what can I say about Lorraine? Firstly, she's an amazing human being. Firstly. Secondly, as a singer, she's supreme. Really supreme. And when you work with her, it's always interesting. It's exciting. Very exciting. And she's so dynamic. She's so charismatic. She's great with it.
So I've been working with Lorraine Dalrymple on and off in various situations, and it's always been a lot of fun. She's a great band leader. She's got a great rapport with the audience, and we continue to work on and off. I mean, this very night we're somewhere working and we're having a ball. So long live Lorraine Dalrymple.
SoFF Music, sister of the fuller figure. My auntie invited me to this jam session. I think this one is unique. I obviously, of course, I'm a musician. I've been to many, but there's an etiquette here. There's not that there's a community that people that are visiting from all around the world. Some people come back just to this spot here at the Efra Tavern Hall to get the experience with my auntie Lorraine. So yeah, it's an honor for me. It's not a gig. It is an opportunity to express and learn. Especially me, as I mentioned before, I'm a young man. So yeah, it's a great opportunity and a good event.
The SoFF, for me, is an innovator in all aspects of the word, whether it's her musical talents as a vocalist or as a collaborator, bringing together people from all different genres, or an improviser. She innovates in every aspect. In her vocals, she inspires new ideas and old classics. In her originals, brings together beautiful stories and comic storytelling. As a collaborator, she's brought together probably the most fantastic bricolage of people from all different genres. And of course, it would not be complete to not say that her improvisational style actually puts in innovate.
Mum and Dad had a good record collection, and we'd sing along to that. We'd harmonise to their records. And Lorraine and I attended church guides, brownies, where we learnt hymns and campfire songs, which we still sing to this day. And we'd harmonise together. And we also, I've got a vivid memory of us in the back garden of our home in Streatham, singing on two ends of microphone-shaped skipping rope handles.
I think Lorraine is a fantastic singer. She's got a really beautiful and powerful voice, and she really owns the stage, and she has a great approach to standards as well. You know, she sings really, she scat sings really well, and yeah, I really like listening to her. It's really a pleasure to play behind her. As a boss, she's great as well. She always make sure the musicians know exactly where they need to be and when, which is really important. You think it would be obvious, but a lot of the time, you know, that's not the case. And she's very fair, and yeah, she always makes sure that we know what she wants.
When I come out the bathroom, I didn't mean as I come out the bathroom. Back up a bit. Oh gosh, well look, let's just do it. What were we talking about? We're talking about, do I do other gigs? Of course I do. In 20 years I've done the jam session,
And others, I've been running jam sessions for 23 years, but I've just been doing them at the EFRA for 20. But of course I do other things. I go on tours, I record with some fantastic people. This is my life. I love it. You know what I mean? So, and I just like to say that I do scrub up really rather well. It's not all of this, headscarves and curlers. But, you know, I do. All right, that's enough now. I'm going back in. Will you go in? Just getting the face on. As much as it is. Oh, love.
Looking good, girl.
Get in there. Backstage on your own is a really nice experience. Gives you a chance to think about what it is you're here to do. And also to listen to your colleagues who are smashing it. You hear that round of applause? It might not be for me, but I feel it in my heart. I love my work. I love my job. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Yes, yes, here it goes. Please shake it.
Give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Kind of sexy, ain't it?
known Loren for around 27, 28 years now. We met a long time ago on this journey of life through music. What else? I can't remember.
I mean, I'll post some stuff. I've got some stuff.
I think jam sessions are really important because, you know, it gives... One of the things that's great about it is it gives lots of different musicians from all different, you know, parts of town, different backgrounds, like the opportunity to... can we close that door? Sorry.
Stop. What are we talking about?
Oh my God, I've got such an itchy nose.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you once again. And I need you to understand one thing. To me, you're like a good bra. You're uplifting, you're supportive, and you're close to my heart, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Loren Dalrymple. Thank you so much for joining us. Big up the band, ladies and gentlemen. Big up the jam. Big up yourselves. Thank you so much.
I've been searching for a long time for the one who's gonna be mine. I'm so mixed up and so very, very tired. I gotta find a place to stop. So won't you have some mercy, 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 mercy. Have some mercy, mercy. Have mercy, I'm tired.